Daddy issues. My father wasn't a man of commitment. Only things he was ever committed to were drugs and his gangbanging. I remember all the times I visited him in prison, either because he got caught pushing coke or was in a gang-related shootout. Luckily, the police only caught him selling. They were unaware of all the heroin he injected into his system. But unfortunately, I wasn't. I knew everything, from his drug addictions to his other love affairs and so much more. My experiences with my dad have been very bittersweet. I can think of those sweet moments in which he'd tell me stories of the days he lived in London. He understood the accent like no other Black American man I've ever known. We'd watch Austin Powers and I ask him for a translation after each sentence. And when I say each sentence, I mean each sentence. But with those sweet moments, there were bitter moments. I remember spending months, sometimes years at a time, looking for him, only to find him in a random house high off his ass with some random woman. Or the days I received a random phone call from his girlfriend of about 7 years, who I knew just as much as I did him. She'd tell me he was in the hospital and I'd visit him and witness him go through endless withdrawal symptoms. She'd fill me with lies, saying that he and she got into a fight because he was cheating or that he bought some Xanax from the guy downstairs, using her money. Anyway, I sit in the hospital with him for a few hours, kiss him goodbye, and never speak to him again until he decides to call me or my mom hunts him down. He had never consistently been in my life. He'd show up for a few days and disappear again. While my friends' only worries in life were if their mom had packed them lunch that morning, I was worried about the next time I see my father. And if the next time I saw him, would it be in a casket? While other kids were playing in the park, I was helping to raise my younger siblings, as my mom was working hard to obtain her master's degree in education. As a result of these obstacles, my skill of independence had to have been manifested. For example, in the 8th grade, I worked in a group with 2 other people to produce a documentary about Nina Simone. Usually, I'd ask my mom for help with my projects, but at the time, she was super busy with trying to become a principal and raising my 2 younger siblings. I was on my own for the entire time. Fortunately, my group made it to the city level of the competition. When my mom watched the documentary for the first time, she was so surprised that I had done my part completely without her help. Seeing her proud of my independent accomplishments created the biggest smile I could possibly muster. In my 17 years of living, I feel as though I've approached obstacles 30-year-olds are only just reaching. I've been chewed up and spit out by this world, and the fact that I'm still standing here, despite all those times I contemplated or attempted to end it all, exhibits strength. I think I've finally found peace in my hardships. I spent my entire life blaming my father for all of the wrongs done by me. Yet, due to his absence, I developed the strength of independence. This skill will take me a long way in life, so, in a way, I think I should thank him. So, thank you, Dad.
What Igor and I both loved to do was to go to the opera. When we first got married, neither of us knew much about opera because we had not gone as children, and our parents didn't expose us to that. One time, Igor was invited to speak in Austria, and as the world-famous Viennese opera house is the centerpiece of tourism, our host invited us to a show. We went to a very well-known performance called Tosca, and it was so wonderful that we got very excited about opera, and we wanted to start learning more about it. We got cassettes back in those days, and you would have the libretto, which are the words on a little booklet in English and Italian. Igor was much more intense than I was. He would listen to the music and read the libretto. That way he would learn the words and understand the words. We learned about the music, and then we would go and see the operas, and whenever we traveled, we took the opportunity to see an opera in the city we were visiting. At his resting Shiva, the week-long period of mourning after he was buried, a man told me about how he discovered that one woman liked opera, so as he did a procedure on her, he sang opera. This allowed her to relax as the procedure occurred. Even though it was a simple and short story, remembering our shared love of the opera from it comforted me. In the aftermath of his death, I was in a lot of pain and despair. It was one of the most difficult parts of my life, and I felt lost. At his Shiva, many people showed up but did not know what to say to me while I was going through this difficult time. I found out that the ones that comforted me the most were those who did things such as tell me stories about Igor and told me that my feelings were normal. Igor became good friends with his former doctor residents, teaching them well and treating them as human beings. There was one couple that both had different religions. The husband was Jewish and the wife was not, and as she had her first child, she was starting to think about what religion she wanted to teach her children. She liked Jewish traditions such as Friday night dinners, so one night they invited us over for a Friday night dinner. During dinner, she told me how Igor would talk to her and tried to help her better understand Judaism, answering her questions about what it means to have a Jewish child. She said that Igor really helped her and made it easier to make her decision. Later, I heard that when she had her second child, she wanted them to be Jewish, and she and the rest of the family converted to Judaism. Stories such as these described how Igor helped others really comforted me. These compassionate stories allowed me to realize his everlasting impact on others and not just me. Although compassion and empathy are similar, I believe the thing that sets them apart is that when you show compassion, you take action and say something rather than just be understanding. During my time of grief and suffering, the most helpful were those who took action to help me. Through the stories that showed me compassion, the people in stories encouraged me to keep on moving forward, comforting me by seeing the lasting impact Igor had on others. Without these stories, my life would have turned out much differently than it is now. By moving past this experience, the way people treat me with compassion completely changed the way I handle tough situations. I have a friend that I sometimes visit, and she is frustrated about how she is getting older and unable to do the things she used to do. I can relate to her because I am also in a similar situation, growing older as well. Because I know what types of compassion work on me, I am now more understanding towards those around me. I listen to those when they are suffering, and when they go through tough times, I use my experiences to help them during their time of suffering. Even today, I continue doing the things that Igor and I did together. I still continue to go to the operas, and whenever I go, rather than making me sad, it makes me feel close to him and brings back wonderful memories. I continue with the joint love that we had, enjoying the opera at home or at a concert hall. Even though the stories were probably not a big deal to them, they changed my entire view of being without him. Although he is gone, his impact will forever live on in the memories of other people.
What do you know of a black girl's country? Where the faucets bleed oceans, so we bathe in God and pray to our own reflections. A black girl's country, where the sky is an indigo quilt hemmed and sewn by our grandmother's tired hands. And we talk with language in our hands and trumpets in our throats, shamelessly loud, shouting our names into an eternal echo. And we smile and the sun bows to us. And with moonlit teeth and dimples deeper than Egyptian blood, we laugh. And every black girl's laugh is an anthem. A Nina, a Billy, a blues. A soft hum hissing, honey kissing baby hairs, every promise is a silk scarf tying itself into a crown. And even our anger is so beautiful. In a black girl's country, an angry black girl sounds like 1,000 waterfalls rushing towards us to silence our storms, to wash our feet when we are tired from dancing. In a black girl's country, breasts and bellies and hips are kingdoms and temples and thrones, and fatherhood is fresh fruit at sunrise. Never fermented or beat, abused, mothers are becoming and born from soil, holding us up and down, opening our souls without fear. Finally, we are here. We are home. sing a black girl's song. She's been dead so long, closed in silence so long. Somebody sing a black girl song. Sing her infinite beauty. Let her be born in a black girl's country.
You can't bury the N-word, but let the actions continue. Born on the back of porches is savage and minstrel. Words we never hear today, but still the package we live through. Seems since civil rights left, we've been more backwards than kids' shoes. Thinking if we ain't got a few hundreds and stacks of some crisp shoes, then we done made it big. But still calling chitlins our rich food. Still plugged into the corner, homies macking with chicks move. And if she don't reply, she get attacked as a proof to me we're something higher. Cause our mental's done expired. And this poverty is stronger than physical when we think we can't aspire to upward mobility. Some 3-year-old girls be killing me. Me mugging from the womb, we just laugh it off as silly. See them school kids cracking at a boy for doing arithmetic. Saying, yo, acting white. But asking for the answers to the drilling. I sit and I think around the clockers. We in this generation are our doctors, our lawyers, our voices, our leaders that'll watch us. But if I look around again, I see it's we on the watch for. Can't wait on Trump to act, cause we'll be sleeping in them boxes. Days long gone from Dr. King's dreams. We need a scheme beyond the blocks, yo. But as long as we scapegoats, we won't ever think we're capable. Long as you think you the N-word, your mind and body gonna stay lazy, yo. Frozen on a patio thinking about Mercedes still. They trapped us with the project so we can't pass houses to the next generation, yo. Banks still redline our hoods, they still don't trust our paper, yo. Got some grown rappers who can't even pay their taxes, but the kids idolize them, stuffing bling under the mattress. But some folks know just the hat tricks, feed us MCs and athletes. Don't take no intellect to do this when we bumping all them trap beats. Programmed to think this the only method to get out the streets. No aspiring scholars, just chump dollars from a rap release. But the moment you mess up, Fox News be lynching on a laughing spree. They only let us get but so far before they crack our teeth. And with every reality TV show we're proud of we. But just cause our faces multiplied don't mean it's positivity. See, Ratchet's always been on TV. Man, it's far too easy. Read from a script, grab a Glock of your girls, make sure that weave is the slickest to cuss them out to if need be. This mark is to keep our palms all kinds of breezy. Stereotypes carried over from the 1800s. Back when Bammy run it, now it's Rasputia who's grunting. Now NBA young boys spitting that stuff that I can't even stomach. But I don't blame them, it's a gimmick for when record labels push their buttons. Give them the latest dance, latest shuffle that they wantin'. Keep the homies salivating, but remaining in the slums. Feed them figure licking pig feet, drink Kool-Aid to chase the rum. Fast food joints on every corner, choking on sesame seed buns. See, some folks be a trip telling us to eat organic. Where I'm from, that word's a joke, man. Pass the bologna sandwich. You hog all the Whole Foods to yourself, charging $10 for bananas. Meanwhile, a chicken box ain't for $4.50, and that'll do some damage, but we so full of itis, we can't even read the prices. Thinking we deserve this treatment, hood zombies living lifeless. The ghetto's just babysitters, don't teach us to succeed, but to survive this. And ain't nobody calling each other Nefertiti and ISIS. Nowadays, it's the 21st century. Still waiting on cotton paper to caress our hands so gently. And they're trying to tell us there's no more racism. No one's pouring salt on us at diners. But there's 2.4 million of us locked up before our time's up. It's queens who still gotta fight to have custody of their own bodies. It's the boy she would have birthed to grow up to be just like his papa. Missing in action, idolizing, dribbling black men with no respect for a woman. This side of the tracks, I am spitting the puckering truth. Go ahead and try to taste this. Nowadays, you don't have to call me the N-word to be a racist. Just grow up far away from us with your only representation being Maury Povich, loving hip-hop, Flavor Flav, and tell me I speak so articulate. I'm so well-behaved. Running your fingers through my hair to feel the knots. You're so amazed at how we do it. Turn being poor into a movement. But if that money ain't invested, man, you just look foolish. Don't think we're worthy of our accomplishments because we wear chains of self-hatred. Deep down inside, our own fears still dominate us. The diagnosis, post-traumatic slave disorder, and they still can't medicate us.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, 'cause no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. While fire away, 'cause today I won't let that shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, and we got I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we're glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 this is me. And I know that when the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. Marching, not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, send a flood. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.